Hey everybody, Douglas Hart, Nexa Mortgage. Wanted to do a little video about three common terms that are heard quite a lot. Two company names over the last few years. Nexa Mortgage, a lot of press, lots of loan officers, lots of growth. Broker, UWM, now the largest mortgage lender out there, also a wholesale lender, which basically only deals with brokers. And then obviously a hashtag that's really big now, brokers are better. What are these things? What do they mean? I want to kind of quantify them, put a little bit of meat to that bone. And the reason why is because statistically, just last year, about 78% of the loans that were closed at the retail channel, meaning retail loan officers, retail lenders. It is very likely that 3 out of 4 loan officers don't even know what it's like submitting a loan to a UWM on the broker side. So I kind of wanted to show that as just one of the things of why are people so enamored with companies like UWM and the broker side. Why are brokers so much better? And this is just one of many, many things, but it's a big one. And it's mainly, this video is mainly for loan officers to show you what I'm able to do at a partner like UWM. Now, what's so special about Nexa? We're the largest broker out there and we're UWM's #1 partner. So we get very well taken care of at the #1 partner, and size matters here. It really does matter. You're dealing with the largest broker, and you're also dealing with the largest wholesale lender who has the most automation and the fastest times in closing. So if you are a purchase-centric loan officer, watch this. I'm going to show you something real quick that could possibly change your thinking as to the broker side. I want to show you what the differences really are. Everybody takes an application, everybody gets a purchase contract, everybody does a pre-qualification, but the day you get the purchase contract, you are now under the gun and you are now on a timetable. And at the end of that day, you're typically lucky just to get the loan pushed off to a disclosures desk or something like that. And it sits there until they disclose it, and then it goes in line for processing. Then the processor gets it prettied up, and then submits it over to underwriting after maybe requesting another couple documents, pulling a couple reports. The timetable on this is typically anywhere from 3 to 7 days-ish, depending on the lender, sometimes up to 10, depending on the lender. Here's what I do on day 1, and this is no joke with UWM. I get the purchase contract. I import it into their system. I run dual AUS, both LP and DU, so I get the easiest findings, possibly an appraisal waiver. I send out disclosures immediately. As soon as I get signed disclosures back, I'm now able to submit to underwriting that day. I'm also able to order an appraisal that day. I can use Processor Assist to open title. These are extra departments that I don't have to pay for. To open title, order HOI, do all this stuff on the very first day. And then on top of that, I can even request a CD once the loan's been approved. Now, it's not uncommon whatsoever for Nexa, because we're a diamond status big brokerage with UWM. It's not uncommon at all that I submit a loan over to underwriting at 1 o'clock and by 5 o'clock I have an approval. So the cool thing about it is on day 1, I'm able to get everything out of the way that most lenders take 3 to 7 to 10 days to do. And on day 2, I can kick a CD out with an approval. I'm also waiting on appraisal at this point. So it's not uncommon whatsoever for us to be ready to close at day 7. We're literally just waiting out the days to do it as long as that appraisal comes in. Now, here's the other difference. It's not just day 1. Once I'm clear to close, I'm pushing docs. Me, the loan officer or the processor, is pushing docs directly to title. meaning the lender is so automated that we don't need the 14, 15 emails back and forth from a docs department that's 2 days out to balance out with title. We merely balance out with title once, maybe twice, going back and forth between processor and title. Docs are kicked out. Also, when the docs are kicked out to title, the wire goes out with it. So if you're in a dry state and you're used to funding the next day, I fund same day with UWM all the time, to where I even forget that it's a thing because it's such a commonality to fund the same day. So I just wanted to point out one of the things that really does separate this. I mean, on day one, I'm saving, like I said, 3 to 5 to 7 days. And then at the end, I'm saving another 2 to 4 days. I mean, that's why I'm closing, and that's why brokers are closing, and that's why Nexa is closing loans at an average with UWM in 9.4 days. Those are calendar days. So it's a very big deal, and this is going to separate you from the rest. I actually had a guy mention to me. Now, the cool thing about UWM also is their rates are fantastic. It's not like I have to pay more to get this service. They're just as low as everybody else out there. I actually had a guy on my Facebook say that, and a really great loan officer, by the way, but he had mentioned he is second to none in turn times and price. And I know who he works for. So he is literally second to me every time in both of those. So you got to think here, what do you want to do? And this is just showing you one out of hundreds of things that give you advantages as a broker. Take a good look at this, and by all means, get back in touch with me. I'd be happy to show you more. As a matter of fact, there's a weekly meeting that I can invite you to where you can get a nice peek behind the screen before joining. Reach out. I'd love to help you. Doug Hart, Nexa Mortgage.